Howdy, everyone. My name's Nicholas, and welcome to the Headliner PodPod. We're a show about podcasts featuring podcasts by podcasters that's hosted by people who help podcasters with their podcasting. On each episode, a few of us folks over at Headliner sit down to play a game that centers around listening to randomly selected clips from over 500 show submissions we've gotten from podcasters. Why? Well, in order to find what we call zero. Here are the rules. Each lucky contestant will hear a 60-second podcast clip. They'll then need to pick the correct podcast title from a lineup of 3 choices before being shown the artwork for that show. Before we get this show on the road, though, let's say hi to each of our contestants today. Starting with Oliver.
Hello, hello. Well, that is a little too loud. It's real loud. You're going to have to limit that. I'm not turning it down. I want to be the loud guy today.
Cool. We're just going to run Adobe's distortion repair over all of your track.
That's right, Nicholas. Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
We'll put him on blast and see how good it really is. Next up, we have Jesse.
You know, it's a pleasure to be here, honestly.
Thank you for the very chill, level-headed introduction. And we, of course, have Max, who I'm now worried is going to do the opposite of Oliver and just lower his levels to like a whisper.
Heads up, headliners. Welcome to another episode.
That was great.
Not chill guy. Usually I'm chill guy, so if Jesse's going to be chill, I'm going to try to be a little extra today.
It's a little Keanu Reeves because I can tell you're trying not to be chill, but the chillness, it exudes you. So it's still like, it's like the most laid back guy ever still.
I have monotone disorder. Everything I say ends up in the same tone.
I've gotten
It might be a real thing. I don't know. I can't get beyond this tone, no matter how hard I try.
You've chilled out. You don't know how to unchill. We also have our producer, Elissa, as usual.
Hi. Sorry. I was struggling clicking on mute.
Okay. And in a break from things, because Christy and Pratik isn't here, so, we're just running wild this week, we decided to have Max lead us off with a little announcement about Headliner.
Absolutely. So 2 cool new updates this week. The first is in Make, you can now generate images. So you don't have to search for some image that you have an idea of in your head of what would be good for your audiogram. Now you can just generate it out of thin air with the power of AI. So if you go and add media in the advanced editor, there's now a text to image feature that lets you type in whatever prompt you want, and we're just going to generate an image for you. I recommend trying the tater tot monster prompt. We've gotten some fun results with that, and I think you'll probably start seeing that on our social soon. The second update is in Eddie, and it is now the update for Eddie is that Eddie's now a little bit smarter. So in addition to generating show notes that look like your previous podcast show notes, we're now extending that ability to titles. So if you're in Eddie and you upload some audio and select a podcast that's for, we're going to start using your previous episodes as a guide to create a style and a tone that's similar to what you're already used to. So we're personalizing the AI title suggestions and the show notes now as well to your podcast previous style. So hopefully that just saves you a bit of work and gets you a little bit closer as a first draft when you're in there creating titles and editing your transcripts, etc.
Very cool. I love it. So just to summarize, Eddie is a bit smarter. It got its GED, and you can now create tater tot monsters on a Make. Awesome. And I do remember you sent them around, and it is so cool, but it was actually a little terrifying. It looked like SpongeBob made out of tater tots.
Yeah, I don't think it has any resemblance to SpongeBob. For the
Legally,
record, there is no relation, no prompts asking for SpongeBob behind the scenes. So
yes, for our many listeners at Viacom, it does not resemble SpongeBob whatsoever. Thank you, Max. Anyway, let's just dive right into things and start with Oliver. Oliver, if you'd cover your eyes, please.
One time, that croc is gonna some luggage is gonna fall down and it's gonna have crocs in it, and they're gonna fall on his feet. He's gonna keep on walking. It's gonna be like, son of a bitch.
We're having a movie called My Croc Don't Wear Crocs. Then the Croc rebels and does come home with Crocs.
Yeah, you know the fucking comic release gonna be in the back of the paper, like, is that Croc women Crocs? Holy shit, I think I saw everything.
Fun. All right, Greg, you got any more? Or?
Oh yeah. I guess 2011, 19-year-old Olga Moskalovia and her stepfather Igor Tingsangov were killed in one of the most horrific animal attacks ever in a remote area of East Siberia. The pair had been fishing and were attacked when they returned to the spot to grab a fishing rod. And you know what it was? It was a bear.
What a note to end that on. Just like fun. That croc had Crocs on, just into like one of the most vicious animal attacks I've ever heard. Okay. On
They're
that note,
most likely from New England, accent-wise. Also, the way they just callously talked about tragedy. I'm guessing they're from my home state of Massachusetts.
okay, that's a very Massachusetts thing.
Just complete disregard for
Mm.
anything that might. Everything is just.
See, I was thinking they were East Coast because I was like, they kind of have that New Jersey love for just slipping cuss words in between every other syllable. But oh well. Anyway, here are your options, Oliver. The first one is, you gonna eat that crust? Number 2, no crumb left behind. And number 3, down with Uncrustables, which I'm just imagining like a statue of a giant Uncrustable being like toppled over, like in an act of rebellion.
You're gonna eat that crust. I gotta tell you. What was the Uncrustable one? I'm gonna throw that one out. I probably
Okay.
shouldn't, but you know. All right. So what was the first one again there, Nicholas?
You gonna eat that crust?
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. What's the next one?
No crumb left behind.
God. Okay, based on the way those gentlemen were talking about croc on croc violence, and then they were talking about the fishing expedition gone awry, I think that the correct answer is number 2. Nicholas, tell me what I've won.
You've won an apology letter because it was not no crumb left behind. It was actually, you're gonna eat that crust, that crumb.
Oh, it was.
Crust, whatever. Yeah, so sorry, but I do appreciate the energy. Also, this artwork is incredible. For those listening, it is just the word animal attacks, which is the name of the episode in question. We have the 3 hosts photoshopped onto stock images of people running, and there are animals behind them attacking: a lion, a bear, and a hippo.
What situation are they going to be in the same region? Like
It's
a
more
hippo?
common than you'd think.
Well, you know,
Zoo?
sometimes evil
Zoo fight?
villains in James Bond movies collect animals from across the world for such a situation.
Mike Tyson used to have tigers. Could
That's
be at
true.
Mike Tyson's house with his pigeons and his tigers.
It's
And a
Mike
hippo?
Tyson's little garden. Yeah, why not?
He
What's
keeps
wrong with
it
hippos?
in the koi pond casually.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. That's on me.
It's for entertaining guests, you know? So there you have it. This episode was Animal Attacks. And here's our show description. Comedy podcast about life, movies, pop culture, video games, and anything deemed worthy of our attention. And this is just my little add to that, including vicious animal attacks and stories about Crocs wearing Crocs, the bane of my existence. So, on that enchanting note, really interesting podcast. I just want to know where it goes from there. So I'm actually going to be bookmarking that URL and saving it because I need to know what made them pick animal attacks.
Their website tagline is "In Crust We Trust."
That would have been a great name for the podcast. In Crust Wheat.
I'm so upset that I didn't Google that
Yeah.
okay.
Well, you live and you learn. Jumping on forward. Let's go with Jesse for our second
right.
clip today.
Oh, he has an actual eye mask or blind. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
He's prepared.
I
I have time to drive from the Manhattan Cruise Terminal to New Jersey and drive to Bayonne in another Uber. So that was a costly mistake, and one to make sure that you are realizing if you're sailing out of, the New York metro area, that you're realizing that if you're sailing out of Manhattan or New Jersey, or, making sure you look at those details. It was a silly thing, and luckily it wasn't where I was actually cruising. So I didn't have any luggage with me, and, I was able to make it with time to still get on board and experience the ship and create content out of it. But it was one of those things where I will never make that mistake again. And I don't think I've ever told anyone this. So that is a special nugget for just listeners of the Joy of Cruising Again podcast, because it's embarrassing for sure. But you know what? Things happen, and you learn from those mistakes.
Okay. There was our clip. So, Jesse, here are your options for today. Number 1, Riding the Waves. Number 2, Bon Voyage Pod. And number 3, The Joy of Cruising.
Well, all right. Mathematically speaking,
Of course.
if the answer was there, hello, my cat's visited. If the answer was there, I think y'all know that I've picked the center one the last 2 times correctly.
Have
if
you?
I may add, I have, and I know that you know this, Nicholas. It's okay.
I don't.
You don't have to
really
pretend.
don't.
So knowing that you know this,
I knew that.
I know that I can't pick that one. So it's gonna have to be number 3.
Okay. So you number 1, you didn't even entertain. It's
Number
just
one,
The Joy of Cruising.
It's too lonely at the top. We're not trying to be there.
Can we have someone check the sleep mask you were using? Because at this point, I'm just convinced you poked holes in it or something. Because yeah, it's The Joy of Cruising.
They also said the answer there at the end in the podcast.
Oh, go figure.
But besides that,
no. Please continue. Nobody just says besides that and then doesn't provide.
Yeah, they did.
besides.
There at the end. It's at the end of the clip. She said, "That's a little tidbit. I've never shared that with anyone. That's a little tidbit for the Joys of Cruising podcast."
Oh my God,
and
your
I made
memory is insane.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Terrifying.
That's on me. Math didn't win. You just okay.
Math never wins.
You committed to the bit. That's fine.
Okay. Well, yes, it is The Joys of Cruising. This is from the episode Alana Singano, Travel the World from A to Z. And yeah, I'm at a loss for words from that still. For what it's worth, if it were me at bat, I would not have picked that up. I just wouldn't. Anyway, here's our description for the show. The Joy of Cruising podcast is a conversation with one of dozens of amazing cruisers with fascinating stories that have been featured in the Joy of Cruising trilogy. The Joy of Cruising, Cruising Interrupted, and new The Joy of Cruising Again. In addition, there will be conversations with individuals with great cruising backgrounds who are almost profiled in the books, but it fell through due to scheduling, etc. And finally, cruise personalities that come along with fascinating stories who might be great candidates to feature in future projects. So, there you go. It's also a trilogy of books. I never would have guessed that. That's so interesting. Honestly, because Elissa, I don't think... Oh, you did mark the ones that are the correct answer. If it were me, I wouldn't have picked the Joy of Cruising because I would have been too fixated on the word cruising because of the Smokey Robinson song. Anyway, let's skedaddle over to Max, who looks about ready to get it right again. He's been on a roll lately, right? I think
I missed the last one. I don't have an eye mask, but I think I'm legally blind at this point. So if I take my glasses off, I think that's the same thing.
Okay, so everything
but if you
just
insist,
looks like a
I can close
Rorschach
my
test.
eyes. Yeah.
What do you think, Elissa? Do we trust
I mean,
him?
sure.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
All
Let's do
right.
it.
Keep your eyes open then.
They're open and not seeing anything.
Late 1700s in Pennsylvania, I guess perhaps with the exception of the Quakers that established that African school, racism was pretty pervasive in the North and the South. And
Oh yeah.
when you were talking about also Pennsylvania was bordered by slave states, Virginia obviously went to the Confederacy during the Civil War, but Maryland and Delaware did not. There were still slave states, and DC actually had a huge number of slaves, even though it was the capital of the Union. So also close to Pennsylvania. So it's just, there's a lot of, sometimes it's not as clear cut as you would read in some textbooks, we'll say.
Okay. There was your clip, Max. And
Through that.
running down the list, your first option is the U.S. Navy History Podcast. Number 2, no, not like Top Gun, which I can't stress I disagree with, but whatever. Number 3, Navy Pod.
Getting pulled towards a Navy theme.
Yeah.
A fun fact, I actually went to a Quaker school, but I'm not a Quaker. But the school
Really?
near me was Quaker. So I read some textbooks with Quakers, and I can agree. You know, it's not always as clear cut as it seems.
Okay.
But the Quakers are, you know, they're nice people. And I think if they taught me right, then I am going to go with the first option. And if that's incorrect, then let this be a reflection of my Quaker education. I was not prepared for the real world to make these types of decisions if that's incorrect.
So they're great people, the Quakers, but if you're wrong, you are also just going to completely hurl them under the bus. Just
I
no
am
mercy.
not promoting or detracting from the Quaker religion. I actually don't know enough about it to speak to if it's good or bad or whatever. But you know, all I'm saying is they seem like nice
Thanks for the
folks.
honesty.
And so that's all I have to say about it.
Okay.
Great oats.
To clarify, if you get it right, though, the Quakers, they're fine. Like we're cool with the Quakers.
Their
It's
education
not
is
really
fine.
about the Quakers overall.
the
I was just
school.
saying my education, and you
Okay.
can draw what conclusions you want from that.
Okay.
Well, regardless, the U.S. Navy History Podcast is correct. It wasn't,
there you have it.
not like Top Gun. Thanks for that, Elissa. I didn't even get to write down a note about how I noticed that. But
I'm funny. I know.
Yeah. So
There you go.
that was
Let's
it.
go Quakers. Good job, guys.
So I just appreciate on the cover, it just says redacted right there. I think that's so great. And it's a cool cover. It's very retro.
That makes me want to listen to this now. Anything that's redacted, I'm like, ooh, tell me more.
Yeah, about
Hiding.
redaction.
Your meek Quaker upbringing.
They teach you to look where the others don't want you to look.
Yeah. They teach you to re-redact the redacted. So this was from the episode Black History Special Part 1. And our description of this show is very simple. It is history of the United States Navy from the Revolutionary War to modern times. So, yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Can't say I know much about the Navy, but if you want to learn more about it, here's the show for you.
Sounds like a show for you, Nicholas. You got to bone up
Yeah,
on your
it might be.
Navy history.
I actually have a friend whose husband is in the Navy, so maybe I'll like binge this podcast and just like hang out with them and have like way too much trivia about it. Beats all the movie trivia. Anyway, let's jump on over. That was everybody. So we do have time for one more little clip. We can get everyone involved in it. So let's do that. If everyone will cover their eyes, take their glasses off, and cover their eyes with a sleep mask that may or may not have holes in it. Cool.
Well, first you gotta, with an owlbear, you gotta get right in there. And then you get them, right?
Oh, right, of course.
And then after I caught him,
after
I caught him, some of these other bandits in the trees here, they joined up.
Wow, that's amazing.
Impressive.
You really are quite an impressive.
Not a lot of people can say they caught an owlbear.
No, I certainly can't. I mean, look, there's no way I could get in there.
You get right in there. You gotta commit and get right in there.
So, how did you and Remy meet? I would love to hear more about this love story.
Well, we were up by the road. We were robbing caravans.
As one does.
Yeah, right. We were, taking the stuff that we wanted so that we could have it.
I think that was one of the most eloquent descriptions of thievery I've ever heard. We take the stuff we want because we want it.
Gotta take that stuff so you can have it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
mean, that's
still want to
just
know how Smokey Robinson came in to play earlier.
Oh, because he has a song named Cruisin'. That's
And
why.
that's what you thought of?
My brain works in weird ways. And also one of my music
Fascinating.
professors in college played on a cover of it by D'Angelo. So it's like lodged in my head, that knowledge. But
Amazing.
okay. Yeah. Like I said, I'm just a trivia machine. So here are our titles for this podcast. Number 1, Guaranteed Adventures. Number 2, Guaranteed and D&D. And number 3, the Totally Rad Podcast Games, TTRPG. It's a good play on words there.
RPG.
Yeah.
That
From
flows
the
off the tongue
voices.
pretty well.
Did you say 3?
imagine- 3?
What's that, y'all?
Did you say 3 options?
Yeah, that was 3 options.
I feel like I had the second and third blurred together. I wasn't actually sure which one was which.
Okay, so the second one was Guaranteed and D&D. And the third
Okay.
one was the Totally Rad Podcast Games, TTRPG.
Totally Rad Podcast Games is pretty good
I
because
know.
it sounds like an RPG podcast,
Mhm.
and it's TTRPG, right?
Yeah, I feel like they put a lot of thought into not only the acronym that they were going to use, but also the fact that it rhymes.
I have to be completely honest, and I don't think Elissa would come up with that one. And I'm sorry, Elissa. I respect you.
I'm hurt.
I know it hurts. Sometimes the truth hurts.
Vicious.
Whatever.
I had to hide my video because I'm just in shambles crying over here.
I don't know that I consider you. I didn't know you cry, Elissa. I thought when you're upset, you grab your dog and go hunting.
Well, I mean, there's different ways to cope, Oliver.
Well,
Not
the
really-
video is off, Oliver, so we don't know she isn't doing that.
You don't know. And
Yeah.
she does know where I live, so I am now to
Schrodinger's
go
dog.
outside.
Gearing up to walk down Broadway here and with my dog.
There you go.
What do you think, guys? Do we think
If I may
Elissa came up
interject,
with
I think
number
we got
3?
dangerously close to DDoSing Oliver for a second there.
Why would you do that?
Well, we said the street you live on.
Oh, no, that's a DDoS attack is different. You're talking about
No, that's a web attack. You're right. I'm thinking of something else.
Doxing.
yeah.
Doxing.
Doxing.
Yes.
Smokey Robinson didn't have a song about web attacks, so Nicholas.
Clearly. That's why I got that wrong.
Whatever.
That's
You
his
can
new
tell
stuff.
the podcasters where I live. Come at me, podcasters. I'll serve you tea and biscuits.
Yeah, not only do you know where he lives, but he's going to give you some biscuits if you come by. So stay away or not. Have a great
Yeah.
enjoy a biscuit. He's open arms. Well, I also like the TT RPG. What is the first T for? Is that a the?
The Totally Rad Podcast Games.
I like it too. I mean, I think there was a lot of time that was put into that. And honestly, I feel like it deserves to be chosen and at least get this recognition. Whether Elissa made it or if the podcasters made it, I feel like this title it's really good.
But what was the first one again?
Jesse, you just sucking up to Elissa now? Come on. You're like, well,
I'm-
He
Elissa made
needs
it, or-
nice copy about podcast promo.
I know we all do. Please, Elissa, please don't hate us. However, I stand by what I said.
Jesse just doesn't want to get hunted.
It's
Alyssa's
true.
dog might pick up
I'm
on
not-
his scent.
Coda's literally upside down, like head off. I don't think he's gonna come for
down the bow.
all 15 pounds of him. Very non-threatening.
I mean, he
Anyways.
might only be 15 pounds, but he has the gait of a 20-pound dog.
Coda.
Yeah. He may only be 15 pounds, but it's 15 pounds of muscle.
So what was the first option?
Guaranteed Adventures.
I like that one too. Well, if you guys want to go with TTRPG,
I think we're good to go with it.
let's do it.
Okay.
Let's lock it in.
The Totally Rad Podcast Games Tabletop RPG is incorrect. It was Guaranteed Adventures. Max, you were so
Guys.
close. You were so close
Come
to the
on,
truth.
guys.
That's all I have to say, Oliver. Ha!
You
The
never
single
cease
self.
to amaze me. Wow. So you came up with that one?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Bask in all of my glory.
did you
Yeah.
play role-playing games?
No, I knew that it stood for something. I think I also saw like the acronym in the description.
Yeah, it's in the
But then I
description.
thought, this sounds like an opportunity.
And it was.
Yeah. And for what it's
Like-
worth, this was bait for Christy originally.
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
I know bait when I see it.
So you
Things
picked-
Jesse says at the fishing shop.
Before I take my dog and go hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Guaranteed Adventures is a good name, honestly.
It is.
And the double T kind of threw me. I should have gone with my gut. I was like, I don't think somebody's gonna put a T in an acronym like that.
Would have been
Now we know.
lowercase if they did, but yeah, there you go.
You
So
guys ever see a T in an acronym? Sorry, I am a the. What I said previously didn't make any sense. A the in an acronym as the T. That's a red flag.
yeah, although I've seen them, Max, they're lowercase usually.
Like the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
That
that's
is
true.
a
That's
very
just
good
straight up.
counterpoint. Okay, forget everything I said.
Haven't seen that either.
Yeah. You haven't seen the Lord of the Rings?
Unfortunately not, no.
No,
But I
neither
feel
have I,
like-
man. You're good. You're
But
good.
like at this point in my life, I feel like if I watch it, then I'm going against something. And so it's kind of like just a personality trait now.
That's me with Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. I literally worked a job analyzing media before I joined you guys, and I refused to watch both of those. Like, I turned down work to keep this going. And I like fantasy. I like the books for what it's worth.
All right.
But yeah,
You have me. Game of Thrones is amazing. Don't stand for that.
yeah, I'm sure it is. I got to keep going at this point. I'm setting my ways
Stick
on
to the
that
bit.
note.
Boomer.
Exactly. Actually. So this was from season 4, episode 3, Ivory Horizon, Legitimate Bandits, which explains the clip we heard about them robbing people so that they could have things. And here's our description. Welcome to Guaranteed Adventures, where the stories might change, but the adventure is guaranteed. We're just a bunch of friends diving into the world of tabletop role-playing games, TTRPGs. From dungeons filled with dragons to superhero adventures, our podcast is your ticket to countless adventures. What makes us special? Well, first off, we're totally family-friendly and squeaky clean. We jump into different TTRPG systems every season and craft a whole new story, so you can join in at any point. No need to binge listen for hours. Each season is a self-contained tale, ready for you to dive right in. Whether you're a seasoned adventurer or a complete newbie to TTRPGs, we're here to make you feel right at home. So, grab your imaginary sword and your favorite snack and join our party. Your seat at the table is waiting. Cool and inviting, I like that. That's such a great hook for a D&D podcast, because that's like the single worst thing about every D&D podcast. You join after they've passed season 1. You have like homework to do before you can just listen to the podcast. So, yeah. Very cool stuff. Love the cover and interesting. It's definitely interesting. And with that out of the way, we've exhausted our list of options for today. To everyone who listened, we hope you enjoyed it. We hope you learned something about Smokey Robinson and cruising, and the fact that Jesse and I will never, ever watch Lord of the Rings. It's actually a lie, because I'm thinking of changing it finally, but that's for me to figure out. Anyway, that's the episode. Hope you enjoyed it.